Ciao ragazzi e bentornati a Ask Manu Italiano. Io sono Manu e questo è Italy Made Easy. And this is episode 22 o episodio 22 o 22esimo episodio. So many words to say something like that. I have a great question for today as usual because you guys have really amazing questions. And apologies if for now I have not produced a PDF for this episode. I'm still recovering from my accident and I spent a lot of time resting because that's what I should be doing. So apologies again. Probably one day I will make a PDF for this. If you're watching this video at a later time, then you might find a PDF. So what I suggest you do is that you check on the website and see if there is a PDF. Otherwise, enjoy the lesson. And it's about something that many of you will have questions about. Hopefully, I have an answer at the end. Let's see.
Hi, my name's Sam. I'm from the UK and I live in Italy now. I have been trying to learn Italian for 4 months now, and my question is, when must I use sono and when must I use sto? For example, sono Sam and sto caldo, because in English I would say I am Sam and I am hot. Thanks.
Fantastic question, Sam. Grazie mille. Just one thing. I understand. You will find out in my answer why you're getting confused at the level that you are, because you shouldn't be saying sto caldo. That's not Italian. But I'm sure you heard it, and that's why you're bringing it up. But the confusion actually stems from. Let's just get into this. I'll tell you all that I can tell you. There's a lot I need to tell you. So, generally speaking, when we use the verb essere, like sono, we're using the verb to be, obviously. And when we say sto, we're using the verb stare, which means to stay. The confusion that arises for most of you in Italy is due to the dialects. And also because essere and stare do have similar meanings even in English. So, in standard Italian, generally speaking, it's the same as English. So we're going to use sono anytime we mean I am, and we're going to use sto anytime we mean I stay, with a disclaimer, as you can see. And I'll tell you throughout the episode what all these exceptions are or what the different situations are. But that's the main idea. So if you're speaking standard Italian, it works almost the same as English, between to be and to stay. For example, in Italian I would say sono Manu, I am Manu. Sono italiano, I am Italian. Sono alto 1,70 m, I am 1,70 centimeters tall. Sono stanco, I am tired. Sono sportivo, I am sporty. Any adjective that would describe me, I would use sono because I am those things. Okay? So, because I'm using the verb to be. So, it's like saying the car is red. We're using the verb to be because we're describing the state of being of that thing. So, that's why we're using sono in Italian, just the same as English. Now, we use stare in different situations. For example, I can say that il giovedì sera sto a casa. On Thursday nights, I am at home, as in I stay at home. See, in English, I can say I stay at home. That's because stare has the meaning of restare, to remain, same as English. Or I could say, quando vado a Roma, sto in albergo. Sto in albergo means I stay at a hotel, meaning lodge. Alloggiare as a synonym of stare, the same as English, to stay as in to lodge, to stay at a place. So, as you can see, there are a lot of similarities. So, that's because in standard Italian, there is a mild distinction between essere being used for permanent states and stare being used for temporary states. Let's have a look how it works in English, for example. So in English, I'll say, where are you staying in Rome? I'm using the verb stay. I'm not using the verb to be. I'm not going to ask you, where are you being in Rome? Right? Where are you staying in Rome? Then we can say in English, stay calm. We're using the verb to stay with calm. Stay happy. Now, of course, we could say be happy. Now, I can say be good, but then I can say stay still. You see how it's kind of confusing? And it's not like it's permanent and temporary, but there are blurred lines between essere and stare even in English. And that's why it's confusing. In Italian, it's even more confusing because we have dialects. As you may know, 70% of Italians don't speak Italian as the first language, as the mother tongue. Italian is the second language for most of the population. I'm in the 30% of people who grew up with Italian, but 70% of Italians grew up with another language, which is their dialect. And then they learn Italian. And that's why Italian is often polluted or influenced by a dialect, which is fine. So if, Sam, that's probably your case. I don't know where you are, where you live in Italy. I don't think you mentioned that. But in Italian, there is a strong distinction, in the Italian dialects, there is a strong distinction between essere, meaning for permanent state, and stare for temporary state. Almost the same as in Spanish, ser and estar. Now, it's not quite as extreme, but it's the same idea. So many Italian dialects, especially from the south of Italy, will have that distinction, essere for permanent state and stare for temporary state. So in dialects, and this is not Italian, but you will hear people say sono Manu, sono Italiano, with the verb to be, obviously. Now, of course, they might say sono in whatever way they say it in their dialect, but if they speak Italian with a strong influence from their dialect, their Italian might sound Italian to you, but they're actually using the structure of a dialect. That's why it's confusing. So, sono Manu, sono Italiano, but then they would say sto stanco. Stanco meaning tired. No, being tired is temporary. I'm not always tired, right? So no, sto stanco. Or sto arrabbiato. I am angry at you, for example. Sto arrabbiato con te. Now, in Italian, I should say sono stanco. Sono arrabbiato con te, okay? There's another like colloquial thing that we say, ma stai fuori? Always we do this, like meaning, are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? Fuori meaning outside. So, stai fuori. Now, of course, all these things are temporary states, but they only exist in dialects at this extent. So what are the exceptions? Because when you remember before I said that, what did I say? I said this, that in standard Italian it works almost the same as English. Let's have a look at the exceptions when it doesn't work almost the same as English. Well, whenever we're talking about how we're doing, as in, how you going? Oh, I'm well. How's your sister? Whenever we're talking about that, how you doing, as you know, the verb we use is stare because we say come stai, or come sta if we're formal. And then your answer is sto bene, or mia sorella sta bene. Okay, so we use the verb to stay whenever it's about how you're doing. So it's different. So you have to accept it and not understand it. Another other times when we use stare, for example, is with the word attento. Stai attento, sta attento, pay attention. So in English we pay, which means nothing. And in Italian we stay, which means nothing. So, you know. Okay, so stai attento, we use stare, whereas in English we use pay, for example. Stai zitto, be quiet or shut up. So in English it's be, in Italian it's stare zitto. So we use stare for that one. Just accept it, don't analyze it. We could even say stare buono, as in sta buono, usually with a dog, like, you know, sta buono, be good. Now, of course, we could use the verb to be as well, si buono, that means be good. But yeah, you will hear Italians say sta buono as well. Now, of course, there's a whole different category of situations where we use avere in Italian just because. And these ones, you have to learn and not analyze. So with things like fame, sete, sonno, paura, caldo, freddo, and actually I'm going to add two. Ragione and torto. Ragione meaning right, as in reason, and torto meaning wrong. Okay? So in Italian we use avere, so we say ho fame, in English we say I am hungry. So we use to be in English and to have in Italian. Ho sete, I'm thirsty. Ho sonno, I'm sleepy. Ho paura, I'm scared. Ho caldo, as in I feel hot. E ho freddo, I am cold or I feel cold. And ho ragione, I am right. E ho torto, I am wrong. So in English we use the verb to be. In Italian we use the verb to have. That's how it is. there is another reason why essere and stare get confusing in Italian. It's because they share a past participle. So, if you don't know, that's okay. But whenever we speak in the past tense in Italian, passato prossimo, the second word that we use is a past participle or participle. I've heard both pronunciations in English. And that's stato. So if I say sono stato, you have 4 translations in English. You could say sono stato meaning I was or I have been, but it could also mean I stayed or I have stayed. And that's because stato means both been or stayed. So as you can see, the overlap is there, but as a general rule, I remind you that basically when you use essere, whenever you're thinking to be, unless it's one of the exceptions, and stare is only basically used for the exceptions and for telling how you're doing, okay? Unless you speak in a dialect or you are speaking in Italian that it's influenced by a dialect. Ok ragazzi, grazie mille per la vostra attenzione. Se vi è piaciuto questo video, per favore subscribe e per vedere tutti gli altri episodi, I just switched to Italian. That's because I'm very tired. As you know, I explained the grammar in English. But check out the other episodes here. Ok? Ciao ciao, a presto. Ragazzi, per non perdere nessuna lezione di italiano, attivate le notifiche. Si fa così. Prima vi iscrivete al canale, poi fate clic sulla campana vicino al bottone rosso e selezionate quest'opzione. Salvate e via! Facile, no?